Batting second, the pitcher, Decorah Scribner. Hitting third at second base is Zach Lindquist. Batting fourth at third base is Zach Howard. Hitting fifth in right field, Devin Marin. Hitting sixth at first base, Alex Schutte. Hitting seventh, the center fielder, Jake Kinnitz. Batting eighth, the catcher, Riley Hanks. And batting ninth, the left fielder, Landon Clemenson. And that lineup will face Kyle Kane, the junior right-hander for Decorah. Kane coming off a loss, but a good outing against West Delaware on Thursday night. Ended up losing 2-1 in that game, but you just heard Coach talk about it, that you might see all four Decorah pitchers in tonight's game, depending on how things are going. John Magnuson will bat from the right-hand side of the plate. Kyle Kane's first offering is at 526, and it's a fly ball into left. Retreating is Jake Hovden near the fence, and he will make the catch. Magnuson swung at the first ball. It kept carrying towards left field, and Jake able to run it down. And there's one pitch and one out here in the first inning. Jack Lynch calling the balls and strikes, and Bob Wellendorf is working the base pass here in Game 1 of this doubleheader. Decorah Scribner will bat from the right-hand side of the plate against the right-hander Kane. And the first offering is a curve taken for a strike. It's 0-1. We'll set the Decorah defense here momentarily. The 0-1 delivery swung on and missed at a fastball, and it's no balls and 2 strikes now on Scribner. Jake Hovden in left, Gavin Nimrod in center, and James Astley in right. Josie Jewell at third, Jake Qualley at short. 0-2 delivery just missed on the fastball outside. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Colin Nimrod at second and Bryce Pierce at first, with Austin Ashbacker starting behind the plate, and Kyle Kane on the hill. Curveball swung on, fouled away right side and out of play. So we'll do it again at 1 ball, 2 strikes. East has struggled this year. They are 2-22, coming off a doubleheader loss at Cedar Rapids Kennedy on Friday night. The 1-2 delivery is a fastball up, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Vikings coming off a doubleheader split down at Waverly Showrock, winning the second game of that doubleheader 3-2 in 9 innings. 2-2 delivery smacked into left field. After it is Jake Hovden. He'll make a running catch near the line in medium to deep left field. So Hovden makes a couple of nice plays, and there are 2 up, 2 down here in the first inning. No score on a beautiful night for baseball. And Zach Lindquist will bat from the right-hand side against Kyle Kane. Kane's first offering is a ground ball towards short. Charging there is Qualley. Picks it up and throws on to first base to retire Lindquist and the side here in the first inning. So Kyle Kane gets out of that first inning, a 1-2-3 frame with only 8 pitches. We head to the bottom of the first inning. It is Waterloo East 0 and Decorah coming to bat, and the Vikings will bat this way. Leading off at second base will be Colin Nimrod. Batting second at shortstop, Jake Qualley. Hitting third, the designated hitter, Dustin Carey. Carey batting for the first baseman, Bryce Pierce. Hitting fourth at third base, Josie Jewell. Hitting fifth and right field, James Osley. Batting sixth, the pitcher, Kyle Kane. Hitting seventh, the catcher, Austin Ashbacker. Hitting eighth in left field, Jake Hovden, and batting ninth in center field, Gavin Nimrod. And that lineup will face Decorah Scribner for Waterloo East. Vikes play every team in the metro area of Waterloo and Cedar Falls on the schedule. In fact, this is the second of 4 opponents they will face. They played Waterloo Columbus, beat them back on the 18th of June. They got East tonight. A week from Wednesday night, they will go down to Waterloo West, and on the 16th of this month, Decorah will take on Cedar Falls here at Olensack Field. Vikes coming in 18-7. And there's still a lot of closeness among the top 4 teams in the Northeast Iowa Conference. No conference games tonight. Decorah with only 1 doubleheader left on the season. All the other teams have 2 that are at least in contention. Waverly comes into the week 3 losses. Owine and New Hampton with 4 losses, and Decorah with 5 losses. In fact, the postseason pairings are expected to come out tomorrow afternoon. Our prediction is Decorah will be playing Cresco, and Walk-On will be playing Owine on this diamond 2 weeks from Friday night, as Colin Nimrod will start things here in the bottom of the first inning of a scoreless game between Decorah and Waterloo East, because the seedings were done as of Saturday as the first pitch goes inside. 1 ball, no strikes. Landon Clemenson in left, Jake Kinnitz in center, and Devin Marin in right. At third base is Zach Howard. John Magnuson is at short. Pitch in there for a strike. It's 1-1. Zach Lindquist at second. Alex Schutte at first. Riley Hanks behind the plate. And Dakota Scribner on the hill. 1 ball, 1 strike, and the pitch just missed inside. It's 2 balls, 1 strike on Colin Nimrod. East will have Linmar at their place tomorrow night, and Decorah has a non-conference game against Clayton Ridge. The 2-1 taken up. It's 3 balls, 1 strike. That Clayton Ridge team, from what I've been told, a very good team offensively. They're a team that beat New Hampton at New Hampton last week. 3-1 delivery lone outside for ball 4. That'll be JV varsity tomorrow night beginning at 5:30. A runner at first and nobody out, and Jake Qualley to the plate for Decorah. Scoreless game here in the bottom of the first inning. Qualley, the winning pitcher, threw all 9 Friday night in game 2 of that doubleheader against Waverly Shellrock. Qualley squares the bunt, pulls the bat back, pops it foul right side. Over is the first baseman, Schutte, but it lands on the roof of the first base dugout. No balls and 1 strike. When Qualley was squaring to bunt, Howard at third base was charging in for Waterloo East. Nimrod, the runner at first base, held on over there by Schutte. 2.5 stride lead at first base by Nimrod, and a move over there will send him back diving to the bag. No balls, 1 strike to count on Jake Qualley. No score bottom of the first inning. Nimrod became the first base runner of the game on a ground out. Here's a ball booted at third by Howard, picked up at short by Magnuson. He'll throw to first base, and the throw goes wild. Colin Nimrod will move to third. Qualley will move to second as the ball goes into the dugout. So an E6 will put runners at second and third with nobody out here in the first inning. So second and third with nobody out, and Dustin Carey will come to the plate. Carey had a tough night with the stick the other night as he struck out 3 times in this designated hitting role. As he bats for Bryce Pierce, infield up the corners, back up the middle, and Dustin swings at the first one and fouls it third base side. No balls and 1 strike. Vikes have the 2 games here tonight, and then JV varsity tomorrow night against Clayton Ridge, and then they'll play Charles City Friday at a site to be determined. 0-1 delivery, ground ball towards third and foul. So it's no balls and 2 strikes as Carey fouls off a curve for the second consecutive pitch. No balls, 2 strikes to count on Carey. One thing we do know for sure, the game will not be at Charles City. Could be here. Could be at Riceville, St. Ansgar, Nashville, Plainfield. Any spots in between. The pitch, curveball inside, it hit him. Got him in the hip as Carey will walk down to a previously vacant first base. Bases loaded, nobody out. And Josie Jewell with an opportunity to break this game wide open early on. No score here in the first inning, and East is going to bring their infield up at all 4 spots. Outfield playing pretty deep, with the exception of an average depth in right field being played by Marin as Josie takes the first one high. 1 ball, no strikes. Absolutely gorgeous night for baseball. Had a nice night on Friday night. The 1-0 delivery, swing and a foul back to the screen. It was a hanging curveball, and Josie fouled it straight back. And it's 1 ball, 1 strike to count. More often than not over the last couple of weeks, it's been pretty nice weather. Starting to get spoiled, 1-1. Fastball low, 2 balls, 1 strike. Even though the stats were given to us today that Decorah has had more rain in April, May, and June than they had all of last year. 2-1 ground ball towards third and foul, so it's 2 balls, 2 strikes on Josie Jewell. Over 20 inches of rain in May and June. Away from third, Colin Nimrod. Away from second, Qualley. Away from first is Carey. Josie steps back into the right-hand batter's box. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes, and the pitch swung on. A blooper out in the left field. Underneath it is Clementson. He will make the catch. Tagging at third is Colin Nimrod. He will score. The runners return to their other bases as Jewell gets a sacrifice fly to left, and it's 1-0 Decorah here in the bottom of the first inning. So a walk, an error, a hit by pitch, and a sacrifice fly leads to the game's first run. And James Osley will bat for Decorah. First and second, 1 down here in the first. Neither team with a hit as Waterloo East went down 1-2-3 in that first inning. Scribner comes set, a look back at second, and the pitch to Osley is a ground ball towards third and foul. It is no balls and 1 strike. A couple of wins, and Decorah could reach the 20-win plateau tonight. That would be with 8 games left here in the regular season as Osley swings and fouls the pitch back, and it's no balls and 2 strikes. Because after tonight, you got 1 with Clayton Ridge tomorrow night, at least varsity-wise, 2 against Charles City Friday night, site to be determined. And next week, you'll have games against Southwind on Tuesday night and Waterloo West on Wednesday night, and then on the 16th, to take on Cedar Falls here as the pitch goes outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and then tournaments open up here at Olensack Field on the 19th and the 22nd. The 1-2 delivery outside for 2 balls, 2 strikes. Again, based on our projections, it'll be Decorah and Crestwood that night, and Owan and Waukon, with the other districts having Waverly, Shellrock, and Independence, Clear Lake, and Charles City. 2-2 delivery taken up. It's 3 balls, 2 strikes. Waverly will host games on the 19th and the 22nd, with the sub-state for that sub-state being played in New Hampton on the 24th. Stepping off the rubber is Scribner. 1-0 Decorah on a sacrifice fly a moment ago by Josie Jewell. Stretch, a look back at second. The 3-2 pitch is taken low and outside for ball 4. That's the second walk of the inning to go along with 1 hit batter. And Kyle Kane will try to help his own cause here. Bases loaded, 1 in, 1 down. Now Riley Hanks, the catcher, going to go out to talk to Dakota Scribner and have a brief conversation. Qualley, Kane, and Ashbacker encircled around Coach Olensack in the third base box. Hanks will return to the behind-the-plate area. Over from first base, Alex Schutte with a couple of words of encouragement to Scribner. And it appears Scribner will work out of the windup here. Bases loaded, 1 down. Infield back up the middle and up at the corners. And the pitch to Kyle Kane swung on, driven down the left field line, but foul. It is no balls and 1 strike. Again, this is a rain-out makeup from June the 6th. Couldn't have asked for a better night 80s, but not uncomfortably warm as the pitch swung on and missed at a curveball low and outside, and it's 1 ball or no balls and 2 strikes on Kyle Kane. So no balls, 2 strikes to count. Qualley from third, Carey from second, Osley from first, curveball taken low. Hank's able to get the body in front of that one. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes to count. One, two. Curveball grounded towards third, gobbled up there by Howard. He knocks it down. He throws to first base. The throw pulls the man off the bag. Scoring at third is Qualley on the E5. Kane reaches, and it's a 2-0 lead for Decorah. So the Vikes still without a base hit as Sweska will get Kane's courtesy at first base. And Austin Ashbacker will bat for Decorah. Ashbacker getting the start at catcher with Kane on the hill. Bases loaded, still 1 down here in the first inning. Scribner will work out of the windup. And the pitch, it's low, it's outside, it's 1 ball, no strikes. Carey at third, Osley at second, and Sweska running for Kane at first. Infield up the corners, back up the middle. The 1-0 is taken up. It is 2 balls, no strikes. Scribner has already walked 2 and hit 1 in this inning. Unfortunately for him, his defense hasn't helped him out either, committing 2 errors. As that one low inside, runner trying to break down the line from third, throw to the plate is not in time. The other runners will move up. And on the wild pitch, Carey scores and makes it a 3-0 ball game with Osley moving up to third and Sweska moves up to second. It's 3-0 on Austin Ashbacker. Hanks got that ball relatively quickly, and if Hanks would have given his pitcher Scribner a good toss at the plate, Carey might have been a dead duck. But that's not the way it happened. So it's 3 balls, no strikes on Austin Ashbacker in the pitch. He takes all the way and takes up for ball 4. And now Coach Magnuson will come out of the first base dugout as Brighton Meyer will run for Ashbacker at first. So a lack of defense and a lack of strikes thus far from Waterloo East, a 3-0 lead for Decorah without the benefit of a base hit. Coach Magnuson talking to his infield and battery on the pitcher's mound right now. The Viking hitters and runners talking to Coach O in the third base box. Coach Magnuson back to the first base dugout. And the runners, fielders, and batters back to their positions as Jake Upton will bat with the bases loaded. Still 1 down. Infield still up the corners and back up the middle. Away from third, Osley. Away from second, Sweska. Away from first is Meyer. As the pitch low and outside, it's 1 ball, no strikes. Scribner working out of the windup here in the bases loaded situation. The 1-0 is taken inside for 2 balls, no strikes. Two-0 delivery. There's a strike outside edge. As Jake had to take the sign there, it's 2 balls, 1 strike. Osley Sweska and Meyer lead from their respective bases. The 2-1 swung on, loop towards second base, and a diving attempt is made there. And there's going to be a double play, I do believe, as the shortstop Magnuson caught the ball. He tagged out Sweska, and he tagged the bag, so I do believe that's actually going to be a double play, and we'll be out of the inning, and there seems to be a little bit of confusion. Bryton Meyer is still at second base here. We know that Sweska is retired, 6 unassisted, and now Wellendorf and Lynch will get together, and apparently Meyer beat the man to the bag at second base. I think that should be a double play just with the naked eye. And Coach Magnuson out to talk to Jack Lynch about it. But Jack wasn't the one who made the call. It was Bob Wellendorf out in the infield. They are, for the moment, going to let Bryton Meyer stay at second base, and another run did score, so it's 4-0 Decorah. But I think, frankly, the Vikes got a break there, as Hovden will get a fielder's choice and an RBI because the ball was caught by Magnuson, or it was fielded on one hop by Magnuson. He tagged out Sweska, and he tagged the bag as well, as Gavin Nimrod will become the 9th batter of the inning. So Meyer at second, Hovden at first, and a 1-0 count on Gavin Nimrod. So 4 runs without the benefit of a base hit here in the first inning. 1-0 delivery, swung on and missed. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. One ball, 1 strike to count. Meyer away from second, Hovden away from first. 4-0 Decorah here in the first inning. And a whirl and a throw back to second base, back to the bag, diving goes Meyer. Because if you tag out Sweska, the force was still in place at second as the pitch goes outside. 2 balls, 1 strike. But there's probably some other explanation that I'm not thinking of. 2 balls, 1 strike to count, and the pitch swung on, a little number up the first base side. Scribner is going to tag out Nimrod, and that is that for the first inning. So a kind of an unusual line score. 4 runs, no hits, 3 errors, and 2 runners left on base. We head to the second inning. It is 4-0 Decorah over Waterloo East. Welcome back to Decorah, everybody. Darren Swenson with you here on a Monday night. Decorah and Waterloo East in a rain-out makeup tonight.
Up first for East, third baseman number 10, Zach Howard.
Decorah gets 4 runs without the benefit of a base hit. Not often do we get royalty up here in the booth as Kelly Ruckert comes up and says hi. As the first pitch goes high to Zach Howard, 1 ball, no strikes. Kyle Kane got out of the first inning by throwing only 8 pitches. And Vikes helped out by 3 walks, a hit batsman, and 3 errors in that first inning. Pitch a strike to Howard. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. So Waterloo East not very kind to themselves in that first inning. And the Vikes humble enough to take the help they provided as the pitch goes high. It's 2 balls, 1 strike on Zach Howard, who will be followed by Devin Marin and Alex Schutte here in the top of the second inning is the pitch. And it's hit him. It hit him on the hands as they move Howard down to first base, and he becomes the game's first base runner for Waterloo East. Runner at first and nobody out, and Devin Marin to the plate, and a 4-0 lead for Decorah here in the top of the second inning. So Howard, the third baseman, leads from first, held on there by Bryce Pierce. Marin squaring to bunt, pulls the bat back, runner goes, throw down to second base from Austin, and Colin Nimrod applies the tag, and he was waiting to put it down on Howard. No balls, 1 strike. The count will be on Marin. And Howard caught stealing 2-4. Nice toss there by Austin Ashbacker. No balls, 1 strike, and a curveball taken low. It is 1 ball, 1 strike on Marin. So Howard hit by a pitch. Coach Magnuson sends him on the first pitch, and Austin Ashbacker takes care of him. Fastball swung on and missed on the inner half, and it's 1 ball, 2 strikes on Devin Marin. 4-0 Decorah. Neither team with a base hit to this point. 1-2 delivery, fastball. Ooh, just missed outside edge. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes on Marin. Kyle Kane ready. Kicks and deals with the 2-2. Swung on, popped up, foul. First base side and out of play. So the count remains 2 balls, 2 strikes. Another 2-2 from Kyle. Swung on and missed. Kyle gets his first strikeout as Marin down on strikes. 2 down, nobody on here in the second inning. And Alex Schutte, the first baseman, will bat for Waterloo East in a 4-0 Decorah lead. First pitch, curve for a strike outside half. The ball's 1 strike count. A trickle in of fans coming into the ballpark tonight. As that one a fastball on the inside edge for a strike, and it's 0-2. Sometimes the crowd's a little less on these rainout makeups when they're not on the original schedules. That one hammered towards center field and deep. Retreating is Gavin Nimrod. He's near the fence, and he can't quite run it down. Standing at second with a double is Alex Schutte, and Schutte actually went in standing up. Nimrod got to that ball, fed his little brother. Colin applied the tag, but just a second too late. A lot more drama in that play than there should have been, as Schutte gets 2-out double here in the second inning. And how big is the caught stealing from earlier this frame by Austin Ashbacker?
Up next, center fielder number 22, Jake Kennett.
And Jake Kennett will bat. Runner at second, 2 down. He hits a ground ball toward short. 2 steps to his right is Qualley, and he'll fire a strike over to Bryce Pierce at first base. And that's that for the second inning. 1 hit, 1 left. We head to the bottom of the second. It is a 4-0 lead for Waterloo East. Pitching change already for Waterloo East after the first inning. Zach Lindquist will move from second base to the mound, and Dakota Scribner will move from the mound to second base. That's one of those changes a Norwegian like me could handle. And since we have the pinch-hitting public address announcer tonight, that's probably a good thing, too. Exactly. Tom Hodek filling in for Elliot Christian, who's enjoying some Twins baseball tonight. Bottom of the second inning we go. It's a 4-0 lead for the Decorah. Vikes getting out-hit in this game, 1-0, and they're getting out-errored by a count of 3-0, and that's been the main difference in this one. And Colin Nimrod, who started that 4-run inning in the first inning, will come to the plate to start things here in the second. He walked and scored. So Lindquist about ready to throw his first offering of the game. And the pitch to Colin is a fastball on the outside edge for a strike, 0-1. Oh, 0-1 delivery, ground ball towards third, fielded on one hop there by Zach Howard. He'll throw on to first base to retire Nimrod. And there's one down here in the second inning. One down, nobody on for Jake Qualley, who reached on an error and scored in that first inning. Howard, who had a little trouble defensively in that first inning, fielded that one with relative ease. One down, nobody on. Jake Qualley to the plate. And the first offering swung on a fly ball down the left field line. After it is Clemenson, but it lands foul just about 7 to 10 feet to the left of the line, about 20 feet maybe in front of the 325 sign out in left field. No balls, one strike count on Jake Qualley. Lindquist will kick and deal and bring the 0-1. It goes up high. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. Lindquist looks in for the side from Riley Hanks. And the 1-1 delivery is taken low by Qualley. It's 2 balls and 1 strike. Vikes trying to win their 19th game of the season, trying to start another winning streak after dropping game 1 down at Waverly. 2-1 delivery swung on smack towards left field and a base hit. And that's the first safety of the game for Decorah. A single to left with 1 out here in the second inning for Jake Qualley. And Dustin Carey, who was hit by a pitch and scored in that first inning, will bat. Qualley, a decent lead at first base, held on there by Schutte. A pause from Lindquist and a move to first base is a wild throw up the first base side. Qualley will stand at second as the Trojans retrieve the ball up the first base side. Qualley moves to second, and now Carey will bat with a runner in scoring position. Still no count on Dustin Carey. Vikes got 4 in the first inning and lead at 4-0. Stretch, a look back at second, and a curveball taken low. It is 1 ball, no strikes. After the hit by Qualley, the hits are now even at 1 in this game. Lindquist, a look back at second, a second look at second, and the 1-0. Ground ball towards third and foul. So 1 ball, 1 strike on Dustin Carey. Carey and Jewell going into Friday night were the only Vikings hitting over 300 in a lineup. We've seen some flashes of some pretty good things from this Viking squad offensively, but just haven't seen it enough on a consistent basis. 1 ball, 1 strike, a whirl and a bluff back to second base by Lindquist. Charging in at first base is Schutte. 1-1 to Carey over the outside edge for a strike. Fastball painting the black, and it's 1-2. One and 2 the count. The stretch, a look back at second, and a whirl and a throw, and no throw actually from Lindquist. One ball, 2 strikes with 1 down. Stretch in, the 1-2 to Carey, swung on a pop-up foul over Goose Island Drive and towards the jail. And the count remains 1 ball, 2 strikes. Stretch, a look back at second and the 1-2. Swung on a fly ball towards center field. Jake Kinnitz is under it, and he will make the catch. And Qualley will stay put at second base. Qualley was playing it halfway. Hustled back to second by the time Kinnitz got the ball in his glove, and really didn't have a decent chance for a move up there. And a runner at second and 2 down for Josie Jewell, who brought home the first run of the game, a sacrifice fly to left with the bases loaded and nobody out in that first inning. 4-0 Decorah here in the second. The pitch to Josie, swing and a foul straight back and out of play. No balls, one strike. This is Vikings Radio, 1240 KDEC Decorah and KDECradio.net. Darren Swenson with you from Olensack Field tonight. Rain out makeup baseball as Decorah takes on Waterloo East. The Vikings leading the Trojans here in the first game of a doubleheader by a 4-0 margin. And the pitch goes outside. It is 1 ball, 1 strike on Josie Jewell. Vikes got 4 runs in that first inning. Without the benefit of a base hit. One ball, 1 strike, and the pitch outside. A lunging snag made by Riley Hanks, and it's 2 balls, 1 strike. Lindquist ready, 2-1, swung on, driven towards right center field, retreating is Marin. He's under it, and he will make the catch at shoelace level to retire the side. So the Vikes get 1 hit. There was 1 error, and there was 1 man left. We head to the third inning. It is Decorah 4 and Waterloo East nothing. Top the third inning we go. It's 4-0 lead for Decorah. Non-conference baseball on a Monday night at Olensack Field here in Decorah. Glad you're with us here on AM 1240 KDEC and at KDECradio.net. Riley Hanks, the catcher, leads things off here in the third inning. As Kyle Kane throws a strike, it's 0-1. Kyle's hit 1, given up 1 hit, and struck out 1 through his 2 innings to this point. The 0-1 delivery, another curve inside corner for a strike, and it's 0-2. Coach O called Kyle's performance the best location game of a Decorah pitcher yet this year on Thursday night against West Delaware. Pitch taken high. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Kyle just gave up the 2 unearned runs, but it was enough to saddle him with a loss. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The pitch swung on, popped up straight back, foul, and out of play. So we'll do it again at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Landon Clemenson and John Magnuson to follow here in the third inning. One, 2. Check swing. Did he go? No, I don't believe so. Actually, now Jack's going to make the call and say he went around, and Austin Ashbacker will apply the tag. And that'll be the second strikeout on Waterloo East. Riley Hanks just kind of hung around the batter's box that time. If you're unsure, you might as well go run down there. The only thing the umpire can do is call you back. As Landon Clemenson will look at a strike, 0-1. 4-0 Decorah here in the third. 1 down, nobody on. Kane gets the sign from Austin Ashbacker. And the 0-1 delivery swung on and fouled towards the third base Decorah dugout. And snowballs and 2 strikes. 4 runs in that first inning for Decorah. 1 scoring on a Josie Jewell sacrifice fly, another scoring on an error, another scoring on a wild pitch, and an RBI fielder's choice by Hovden. As that curveball swung on and missed, Austin picks it up and throws down to Bryce Pierce at first base to officially record the putout. So back-to-back strikeouts to start things in the third for Kyle Kane.
At the plate is leadoff hitter.
2 down, nobody on, and John Magnuson will stand in for Waterloo East in a 4-0 Decorah lead. Magnuson flew out to left on the game's first pitch, and he takes that one out of the zone. 1 ball, no strikes. Magnuson is the number 1 pitcher for Waterloo East. Obviously, they wouldn't use him in this situation. Pitch, a strike. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. He's coming off a conference doubleheader Friday night. And they have conference tomorrow night. Linmar at home. 1 ball, 1 strike, and the pitch. Curveball grounded foul towards third. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes now from Kyle Kane. 4-0 Decorah here in the top half of the third inning. First of a non-conference doubleheader tonight. 1-2 delivery swung on smack towards right center field. After it is Osley. He can't get there. It's going to go all the way towards the fence. Osley's going to pick it up. He's going to throw it to second base. The throw's just a bit late. In with a headfirst slide is Magnuson. Osley got to that ball relatively quickly. The throw was on the outfield side of the bag, and Magnuson slid to the infield side of the bag and got there safely. So that's 2 hits given up by Waterloo East, and both have been doubles. And Dakota Scribner will try to make the Vikes pay for it. He flew out on a well-hit ball to left field earlier in the game. Here's a fly ball center field lined out to center, and Gavin Nimrod is there to make the catch to retire the side. 1 hit, 1 left. We head to the bottom of the third inning. It is a 4-0 lead for Decorah. James Osley, Kyle Kane, and Austin Ashbacker due here in the bottom of the third inning for Decorah. 4-0 lead for Decorah. Vikes actually getting out hit by a 2-1 margin. Waterloo East out airing Decorah by a 4-0 margin. Zach Lindquist starts his second inning of relief by throwing high and tight to James Osley, who drew a walk in that first inning. And he eventually ended up scoring as well. 1-0. Pitch, a strike, even though it popped out of the glove of the catcher Hanks and to his right. It is 1 ball and 1 strike to count. One delivery, fastball up. 2 balls and 1 strike to count. Lindquist kicks and deals, and the 2-1 to Osley is blown outside for 3 balls, 1 strike. Vikes got their runs on a Josie Jewell sacrifice fly, an error, a wild pitch, and a RBI fielder's choice by Jake Hubden in that first inning. 3 balls, 1 strike, and the pitch swung on, hammered towards left field, and that'll be a base hit as it lands in front of Clemenson to his left. So for the second time in 3 frames, the Vikes get their leadoff runner on to start a frame. Osley at first, nobody out, and Kyle Kane to the plate. He reached on an error his first time up. Aren ended up scoring on that play. Kane squaring to bunt already, charging is Howard. Lindquist with a pause and a move to first base will send Osley back diving to the bag, even though he didn't have that big of a lead. With due respect to James, that was more of a belly flop than a dive. Osley with the lead at first base. Kane squares to bunt. Does so right up in the air. It's picked up by the catcher, Riley Hanks. He'll throw to first base, and the out is recorded at first base with the first baseman, Schutte, gloving the high throw. Sacrifice complete, 2-3. Osley moves up to second, and he'll be there with 1 down as Austin Ashbacker will bat. He walked in that first inning. 4-0 Decorah leads it as we play the bottom of the third. Lindquist with a look back at second, a second look at second, and the pitch to Austin is a swing and a foul back. No balls, 1 strike on the baby bull. Austin getting that start at the catching position like he does when Kyle Kane is on the mound. No balls, 1 strike to count. Stretch, 2 looks at second. Lindquist brings it in. The 0-1 is a swing and a pop-up right side. Schutte angling into foul ground. He will make the catch just to the right of the Waterloo East dugout. And there's 2 down here in the third inning. 2 down and a runner at second for Jake Hubden. 4-0 Decorah, bottom of the third. Hubden got an RBI on a fielder's choice. in the first inning. So he's officially 0 for 1, but did knock home James Osley as part of that play. It was a bit of a controversial play. His pitch taken low, 1 ball, no strikes. It was a looping ball that was fielded by Magnuson, the shortstop, right near the bag. Sweska went back to the second base bag. Magnuson ended up tagging him out. And at least from my angle, his pitch goes outside. It hops away from Hanks. And Osley will move up to third on the pass ball. I thought Magnuson had tagged second base and beaten Brighton Meyer to the bag. But the base umpires did not agree with that. And Decorah ended up getting their 4th run. 2 balls, no strikes, the count on Jake Hovden. The 2-0 delivery, there's a strike as Jake takes all the way. It's 2 balls and 1 strike. Mike's looking to add on to their 4-0 lead here in the bottom of the 3rd. Stretch a look at third in the 2-1. Fastball low and outside for 3 balls and 1 strike now. So Hovden sits in a hitter's paradise with 2 down. The pitch swung on, a ground ball to the right side, picked up there by Schutte, the first baseman. He'll run to the bag and beat Hovden there for the 3rd out of the inning. Vikes get a leadoff single, but nothing else. We head to the 4th inning. It is Decorah leading Waterloo East by a 4-0 margin. Zach Lindquist will lead things off here in the 4th inning. A 4-0 lead for Decorah. Hits are even at 2. Errors 4-0 Waterloo East. Ground ball, 1 hopper to Josie, who picks it up and fires across the diamond to retire Lindquist, and 1 down here in the 4th inning. So Lindquist, who grounded out to short in the 1st, grounds out to 2nd here in the 4th inning. 4-0 the lead for Decorah, and Zach Howard to the plate. Howard was hit by a pitch, becoming the game's first base runner for Waterloo East in the 2nd, as that one smacked towards third, and a diving grab is made by Josie Jewell. Hang a star on that play as Josie Jewell dove to his left, timed it perfectly, and made the play. 2 pitches, 2 outs here in the 4th. So 2 down, nobody on, and Devin Marin will stand in for Waterloo East as Marin takes a curveball low, 1 ball, no strikes. Coming up tomorrow night will be Decorah and New Hampton in softball on these airwaves. 5:50 pregame and 6 o'clock the start for the softball broadcast tomorrow night. The pitch goes high, 2 balls and no strikes. Sounds like another great weather night for anything you're doing outside, whether you're going late model racing or watching high school sports. Pitch taken high, 3 balls, no strikes. Or just getting an early start on 4th of July festivities. 3-0 delivery, taking all the way for his Marin, and he'll take for a strike. It's 3-1. 3 balls, 1 strike to count. And the pitch from Kyle, swinging a foul back to the screen. It's 3 balls, 2 strikes now. Three-two delivery from Kyle. A changeup is taken low and inside. Ball 4. Marin at first with 2 down. And Alex Schutte will bat for Waterloo East in a 4-0 Decorah lead. Vikes got all 4 of their runs in that first inning. They did so without the benefit of a base hit. And Schutte will bat. He doubled off the center field fence back in the 2nd inning. One of 2 hits Kyle Kane has given up. The walk a moment ago was his first of the night. Although he has hit a man, as Schutte gets out in front of a curveball and it's fouled straight back. No balls, 1 strike to count. Couple of steps off the bag at first base is Marin. Pierce holds him on over there. Kyle comes set. A look towards first in the 0-1. A fastball missing inside for 1 ball, 1 strike. Waterloo East 2-22 on the season. Decorah 18-7. The 1-1 delivery inside for 2 balls, 1 strike. But these two teams have played every year forever. Normally a non-conference doubleheader in the early part of June. 2-1. Curveball taken low. It hops away from Ashbacker to his right. And moving up to second base is Devin Merritt. So 3 balls, 1 strike to count. So Kane, usually pretty sharp when it comes to command, losing a little bit of that here in the 4th, but he pops off his best fastball of the night that swung on and missed, and now it's 3-2. Inner a half fastball. 3 balls, 2 strikes with 2 down. The stretch, a look back at second, another look at second, and a 3-2. Swung on and missed at a changeup. Kyle gets his 4th strikeout, and that's that for the 4th inning. 1 walk and 1 left. We head to the bottom of the 4th. We're halfway home in game 1 of this doubleheader. It's Decorah leading by a 4-0 margin. Bottom of the 4th inning we go. It's a 4-0 lead for Decorah. Hits are even at 2. Waterloo East leading the error column 4-0. Hitters 9-1 and 2. Gavin, Collin, and Qualley here in the 4th inning to face Zach Lindquist, who's given up 2 hits, hasn't walked anybody, and hasn't struck out anybody since coming in for Dakota Scribner in that 1st inning. As Nimrod sprays one out in the left center field. After it is Jake Kinnitz. He dives in left center. He can't get there, and it goes all the way towards the fence. Nimrod in at second, standing with the double. Kinnitz dove, couldn't quite get there. It got by him and started rolling towards the fence. Clemenson, the left fielder, actually picked it up and got the ball back in. But Nimrod with the leadoff single to start things here in the bottom of the 4th. And Colin Nimrod will bat now for the 3rd time in 4 frames. Colin walked and scored in that 1st inning and grounded to 3rd in the 2nd. So he's 0 for 1 officially. It's a 4-0 lead for Decorah as Colin bunts up the 3rd base side. It's in the air. It's by the pitcher, and everyone's going to be safe. Frankly, it was a poor bunt by Gavin, but he's going to get away with it. A serendipitous where it landed for Decorah, and now it's 1st and 3rd with nobody out. So a double by Gavin and a bunt single for Colin will make it 1st and 3rd with nobody out, and Jake Qualley will stand in. Qualley reached on an error in the 1st and scored, single to the left in the 2nd. Infield up at the corners, back up the middle. Is that one flown towards center field? After it is Kinnitz. He will make a running catch in left center. Nimrod will tag, bluff going, but the ball was shallow enough that there wasn't a realistic chance for Gavin to score with even an average throw. So Qualley flew out to center field. Credit Kinnitz with a nice play there because he had a long way to go. But where that ball landed also was to his benefit because all his momentum was moving forward. 1st and 3rd with 1 down. Dustin Carey at the plate for Decorah. 4-0 lead for the Vikings. Runner goes, pitch taken outside, and Hanks, the catcher, will just eat the ball. So Collin steals 2nd. Now Carey will have 2 runners in scoring position. Carey hit by a pitch and scored in the 1st, fly to center in the 2nd. The pitch outside corner for a strike. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. Infield kind of playing halfway up the middle and up at the corners. Lindquist working out of the windup, and the pitch to Carey 1-1 popped up on the infield, and that one will land in center field for a base hit, actually. Gavin Nimrod will score. Collin will stay put at second base. It ends up as an RBI single to center for Carey and a 5-0 lead for Decorah. That one landed just beyond the infield dirt, straight away center field. But with the infield that was semi-drawn in, Magnuson and Schreibner couldn't get there. So Dustin gets an RBI single. 1st and 2nd, 1 down, 1 in here in the 4th. A 5-0 lead for Decorah. And Josie Jewell will bat. He asked for time, and it's granted by Jack Lynch, the home plate umpire.
Jewel.
Josie, a sacrifice fly to left in the first, and he flew out to right in the second. A curveball taken low as Hanks gets his body in front of that one. 1 ball, no strikes. The pitch, high. 2 balls, no strikes. As Lindquist asked for a new baseball. Got the scoreboard doing some crazy things. Right now. 2-0. Pitch well outside to Josie. It's 3 balls, no strikes. Josie named one of 5 finalists for the Gazette Area Athlete of the Year in yesterday's paper. Winner going to be announced in next Sunday's Gazette. The 3-0 delivery is low for ball 4. So Jewell draws the walk. That'll push Carey up to second and Callan down to third. And James Astley will bat with the bases loaded, 1 down here in the bottom of the 4th inning of a 5-0 Decorah lead. Vikes now out hitting Waterloo East by a 5-2 margin. East out airing Decorah 4-0. Infield up at the corner, back up the middle, pitch taken low, gets all the way back to the screen. Callan will score, Carey to third, Jewell to second, 6-0 Decorah. So a wild pitch scores Callan. He scores his second run of the night. With Jewell reaching on that walk, every Viking has reached base safely tonight. Second and third, 1 down, pitch to Osley is a fastball taken up. It's 2 balls, no strikes. Stretch by Lindquist to look around the base pass and the 2-0. High and tight to Osley. It's now 3 balls, no strikes. Lindquist out of the stretch. The 3-0 delivery well outside for ball 4. So Lindquist, who didn't walk any in his first inning and a third of relief, or 2 1/3 innings of relief, in fact. Walks 2 back-to-back, and now Bruce Petro, the assistant coach for Waterloo East, will head out to the mound. A 6-0 score for Decorah. A wild pitch scores one of the runs in this inning. Dustin Carey with an RBI single for the other one. In the first inning, they got their other 4 runs. One on a sacrifice fly, 1 on an error, 1 on a wild pitch, 1 on a RBI fielder's choice off the bat of Jake Upton. Bases loaded, 1 down, conversation's done. Infield up the corners, back up the middle, 6-0 Decorah, bottom of the 4th. And the pitch to Kyle Kane is a strike over the outside edge. No balls, 1 strike. That's the first time Lindquist has found the zone in 9 pitches. No balls, 1 strike count. Lindquist working out of the stretch. The 0-1 to Kyle, swung on, back towards left center field, and that one will land for a base hit. Scoring is Carey, scoring is Jewell. Ostley to third. Kane, a 2-run double. It's 8-0 Decorah. So Kyle Kane got an 0-1 pitch over the heart of the plate. He gets home Carey and Jewell on the play. It's now a 4 spot here in the 4th inning. Sweska will get Kane's courtesy out at second base. And Austin Ashbacker will look to add to Decorah's total. Ashbacker walked in the first inning and fouled out to first in the third. So now 8-6-0 for Decorah, 0-2-4 for Waterloo East. Lindquist out of the windup, the pitch taken low. It goes all the way back to the screen, so Ostley will score, and Sweska will move up to third. That's the third pit or the third run that is scored on a wild pitch for Decorah tonight, and it's a 9-0 lead. Schutte over for a word of encouragement to Lindquist. 1-0 on Austin Ashbacker, and the pitch swung on, grounded, foul. Just to the left of the bag, up the third base side. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. Ashbacker, the 8th batter of the inning for Decorah, still only 1 out. A ball and a strike to count. Lindquist ready, and the 1-1-2. The baby bull goes high. 2 balls, 1 strike. So Lindquist, who threw well in his first 2 innings of relief, the second time through the order against this Viking lineup, he's struggling a bit as well. 2 balls, 1 strike with 1 down. The pitch swung on and a ground ball foul. It is 2 balls and 2 strikes now on Austin Ashbacker. 4 in the first and 5 in the fourth for Decorah, and they lead it by a 9-0 margin. 2-2 on number 22. Lindquist ready, in the 2-2 swung on and missed, took a little something off, and Austin down on strikes for the second out of the inning. So 2 down, 5 in. And a runner at third for Jake Hovden. Hovden reached on a fielder's choice, knocking in a run in the first, grounded out first base unassisted in the third. Jake will look at the first one low, 1 ball, no strikes. Got away briefly from Riley Hanks, but nowhere near enough to warrant runner advancement. One ball, no strikes to count. 1-0 delivery. Swing and a foul right side out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike to count on Jake. Nine nothing Decorah as we play at the bottom of the 4th inning. 1-1 with 2 down. The pitch, swinging a foul at the plate. It is 1 ball, 2 strikes now on Jake. So Carey with an RBI this frame. Kane with 2 RBIs, and the other 2 runs in this frame have scored on wild pitches. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count, and the pitch outside corner taken for strike 3. But the Vikes add 5 to their total. 5 runs on 4 hits, no errors, and 1 runner left. We go to the 5th. It's 5 or 9-0. Waterloo East trailing Decorah. A 9-0 lead for Decorah as we go to the top half of the 5th inning. 6 hits for Decorah, 2 hits for Waterloo East as Jake Knitz flies one into left field, and running it down in left center field is Jake Hovden. 1 pitch, 1 out here in the 5th inning. So Hovden covering a lot of ground in the times that he has gotten to play out there, and defensively, outside of one misplay down at Waverly Shellrock on Friday night, Jake's been pretty solid out there as Riley Hanks looks at a strike, 0-1. Hanks struck out swinging in the third, 0 for 1. Kyle Kane just threw his 50th pitch of the night. So he's been very economical in the count tonight as the pitch goes high. Is 1 ball, 1 strike. Vikes with 4 in the first and 5 in the fourth inning. East has had base runners in every frame except the first as the pitch taken high. It's 2 balls and 1 strike. They had 2 base runners in the second inning. One was erased on a caught stealing. 2-1 delivery. Curveball in there for a strike. And it's 2-2. Two and 2 in the pitch. Swinging a foul at the plate. So we'll do it again at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Two and 2 with 1 down. The pitch, a curveball taken low. This is only the second time tonight Kyle has gone to a 3-ball count on a Waterloo East hitter. He ended up walking Marin with 2 outs in the fourth inning. The payoff pitch taken for strike 3. Got a fastball right down the middle. 5 Ks now for Kyle Kane. And 2 down here in the fifth inning. 9-0 Decorah, and Landon Clemenson to the plate. Struck out swinging in the third inning, 0 for 1. Breaking ball taken low. It's 1 ball, no strikes. One 0. Fastball for a strike. It's 1-1. Kane just getting that ball back, looking for the sign, and ready to deliver. A curveball swung on and missed, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes now. One ball, 2 strikes with 2 down. The pitch, swinging a foul at the plate. While we're sitting here with 80-degree temperatures, Death Valley today, 129 degrees. Death Valley, California. 1-2, swing and a miss. Set a pitch over his head, and that's that for the fifth inning. 3 up, 3 down. We head to the bottom half of the fifth. It's 9-0 Decorah. John Snook in to pitch for Waterloo East, becoming the third pitcher here in Game 1 of the doubleheader. So Lindquist done after 3 innings, 6 hits. All right. So Zach Lindquist back out to second base. And Dakota Scribner, who started this game as the pitcher, moved to second base. He's now in right field, so Devin Marin out of the game, and John Snook will bat in the number 5 spot in the order. 9-0 Decorah. Be hitters 9, 1, and 2 due here in the fifth inning for Decorah. Snook, as we mentioned, the third pitcher of the night. Three innings, 6 hits, 5 runs, all earned, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts for Lindquist. Scribner, 1 inning, no hits, 4 runs, 1 earned, 3 walks, 1 hit batsman, and no strikeouts. So Gavin Nimrod, who started the 5-run rally in the fifth inning, will bat here to start the fifth. He started that 5-run rally in the fourth. Nimrod grounded 1 unassisted in the first inning and doubled a left and scored last frame. He scored on the Dustin Carey single. Pitch in there for a strike to Gavin Nimrod. No balls, one strike. Callan and Qualley to follow. Everyone in the Decorah lineup has reached base at least once. Pitch outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Everyone except Kane's spot in the order, Ashbacker's spot in the order, and Jay Cubden has scored a run. Kane and Ashbacker obviously have courtesy runners for them, as that one's hit foul over our heads and out of play, third base side. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count on Gavin Nimrod. Snook trying to keep the Vikings at bay as the pitch goes outside. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes. A lot of the runs in that first inning was due to a lot of help that Waterloo East gave them. But it was Decorah's offense that really got things done in the 4th inning. This pitch out of the zone. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Now on Gavin Nimrod. Nobody on, nobody out here in the bottom of the 5th of a 9-0 Decorah lead, game 1 of this doubleheader. 3-2, swing on, smack toward short, caught it short by Magnuson in the air, and there's 1 down here in the 5th inning. So 1 down, nobody on, and Callan Nimrod to the plate. A 9-0 lead for Decorah. Callan batting for the 4th time in 5 frames, walked and scored in the 1st, grounded to 3rd in the 2nd, singled and scored in the 4th inning. The pitch outside. 1 ball, no strikes from Snook. One-0. Fastball up. 2 balls, no strikes to count. Two-0. Snook throws low. Snook, a tall, skinny kid, a right-hander. We talked about it earlier, the 3rd pitcher of the night for the Trojans here in game 1 of the doubleheader. 3 balls, no strikes. Callan takes all the way, and he takes a fastball down Broadway for a strike. It's 3-1. 3-1 with 1 down. The pitch swung on, rolled through the right side, and through for a base hit. Callan's been on base 3 times in 4 at-bats now. He's officially 2 for 3 after singling to right here with 1 down in the 5th, and Jake Qualley will bat. Qualley reached on an error and scored in the 1st, singled to left in the 2nd, and flew out to center in the 4th. It was actually a pretty nice play by Kennett out in center field that retired him an inning ago. 9-0 Decorah, bottom of the 5th. Quick move to first base, back to the bag, diving is Callan. Only one other Northeast Iowa Conference team in action tonight. That's Waverly Shellrock. They're playing host to Don Bosco. Conference games again tomorrow night and Friday night as the pitch taken low. 1 ball, no strikes. Just the way the calendar falls, everything's a week back further than normal when it comes to postseason play on both boys and the girls' side this year. A lot of that has to do with when the 4th of July lands. 1 ball, no strikes with 1 down. In fact, the girls, they only have the 2 nights this week, and then they're done with the regular season already. Hard to believe. 1-0. 2 balls, no strikes as the pitch taken on the outside edge. Now, coach has made his feelings straight about how you should schedule baseball. I think it's even more ridiculous on the girls' side of things, trying to smack 40 games really into a month. The pitch in there for a strike. It's 2 balls and 1 strike. But those are decisions that smarter people than me get paid a lot more money than me to make. 2-1, move to first base, and back to the bag diving is Colin Nimrod. So still 2 weeks before the baseball postseason begins, at least here locally. Girls postseason begins a week from Thursday night. Runner goes, pitch taken low, throw down to second base. In with a head first slide is Colin Nimrod. The throw was high from Riley Hanks. And Lindquist had to make a leaping grab to prevent that one from going into center field. It's 3 balls, 1 strike now on Jake Qualley. Pitch swung on, a ground ball towards third. Fielded at short, rather, by Magnuson. He'll throw to first base. Qualley beats it out, and the throw gets by the first baseman, Chudu. So Colin Nimrod moves up to third. Throw to second, not in time to get a sliding Qualley. So an infield hit for Qualley, and the runners will move up on the E6. So second and third with 1 down. And Dustin Carey will try to end this thing. Carey hit by a pitch and scored in the first, fly to center in the second. Single, knocked in a run, and scored himself in the 4th inning. Snook will work out of the windup in this situation. And the pitch to Carey. Swung on a fly ball, left center field. Underneath it is Kinnitz. He will make the catch. Tagging at third is Colin Nimrod. The throw to the plate will not be in time, and that's a Viking victory. Decorah wins game 1 of this doubleheader on the sacrifice fly by Dustin Carey by a 10-0 margin. 10 runs, 8 hits, no errors, and 6 runners left for Decorah. No runs, 2 hits, 5 errors, and 3 left for Waterloo East. Kyle Kane gets the 5-inning shutout. Walking 1, giving up the 2 hits, and striking out 6. Dakota Scribner, the losing pitcher for Waterloo East. Decorah is now 19-7 on the season, and Waterloo East drops to 2-23. So that'll do it for game number 1 of this doubleheader. 10-0 the score. Decorah wins it. And we'll have game 2 of the doubleheader coming up here in about 15-20 minutes on Vikings Radio 1240 KDEC and at KDECradio.net.